Good afternoon to you all. So we were discussing about types of redox reaction yesterday and we completed the combination reaction and decomposition reactions. So today we will be speaking about displacement reaction, the metal displacement and non-metal displacement. So moving on, displacement reaction. From the name you can understand that's a type of reaction which involves displacement. So a displacement reaction is the one or the reaction in which an atom or set of atoms are displaced by another atom in the molecule. So that is what displacement reaction is. So for example, this is a displacement reaction where X displaces the position of Y and Y is sent out of the molecule. So in the compound YZ, the X atom is getting substituted in the place of Y and the Y atom is getting removed from it. So YZ is converted to XZ by displacement of X in the place of Y. This type of reaction is known as displacement reaction. So as we discussed, we do have two types of displacement reactions, which are metal displacement reactions and non-metal displacement reactions. First, we will see the metal displacement reaction. So a metal in a compound is displaced by another metal in its uncombined state. So that is what metal displacement tells us. A metal only is displacing another metal, which causes metal displacement. For example, we have vanadium pentoxide plus calcium. The calcium is displacing the position of vanadium in vanadium pentoxide and forming free vanadium and calcium oxide. So here calcium is a metal and vanadium is a metal. So one metal is displacing that of vanadium. Why it is displacing? Because the ability of calcium to donate electrons is more than that of the ability of vanadium to donate electrons. So that is why calcium is displacing vanadium. So the ability is shown in the electrochemical series. You can refer it back. So calcium is having more ability than vanadium to donate electrons. That's why calcium substitutes vanadium in its position and forms this compound. And now it's time to check whether it's a redox reaction. So vanadium from plus 5 it is changing to 0. So it's a reduction in the oxidation number, so it's a reduction. Vanadium is undergoing reduction. And oxygen, if you see both the places it is the same, -2. In calcium the oxidation change is from 0 to +2. So 0 to +2 oxidation number is increasing. That's why we can tell calcium is undergoing oxidation. Vanadium is undergoing reduction and calcium is undergoing oxidation. Another example, TiCl4 plus Mg. In this also, Mg is a metal, Ti is also a metal, titanium. So Mg is displacing the position of titanium and forming MgCl2. So that's why it is known as a displacement reaction. Here also a metal is displacing, so we can tell it's a metal displacement. So now we will see what is the oxidation and reduction. So titanium from +4 oxidation state, it is moving to 0 oxidation state. In case of chlorine, there is no change and Mg from 0 to +2. So +4 to 0, which means reduction in its oxidation number. Reduce in oxidation number, which tells us it is reduction. And chlorine, no change. Magnesium 0 to +2, increase in oxidation state, which means oxidation. So oxidation is occurring for Mg and reduction is occurring for titanium. Another example, Cr2O3 plus Al. Here also we can tell it's a metal displacement because one metal is displacing that of Cr and forming Al2O3. So in that also, if you see oxidation and reduction, Cr is converted from +3 oxidation state to 0, decrease in its oxidation number. So we can tell it's undergoing reduction. Oxygen, there is no change. Aluminium, if you see, aluminium 0 to +3 oxidation state. So we can tell it is undergoing oxidation. So aluminium is oxidized and chromium is reduced. In all these cases, we can understand that these metals which substitute the metals in the compound are more capable than this one, or more capable to donate electrons. This we have discussed in the earlier classes. So substitution is only possible when this element or this metal is more able to donate electrons than that of vanadium. So vanadium is less able than calcium in case of donating electrons. Magnesium is more able than titanium. Aluminium is more able than chromium. And that is the reason behind metal displacement. Now we will see non-metal displacement. So from the name we can understand some non-metal is involved in that. So the non-metal displacement of redox reaction include hydrogen displacement and a rarely occurring reaction involving oxygen displacement. Displacing oxygen is a difficult task, so that's why we tell it's a rare thing. Non-metal displacement is usually the displacement or redox reaction with involvement of displacement by displacing hydrogen atom by a metal. So hydrogen is substituted or displaced by a metal. The non-metal hydrogen is displaced by a metal from its compounds known as non-metal displacement. And sometimes we get oxygen displacement also. All alkali metals and some alkaline earth metals, the first group elements and some of the second group elements like calcium, strontium, barium, etc., which are very good reductants or which is having more ability, will displace hydrogen from water. So displacing hydrogen from water is not a very easy task. So if it is a steam or hot water or very high temperature water, then it's possible. But from the cold water, if hydrogen is displaced, then it need to be a stronger metal or a stronger reductant. So such kind of stronger reductant like alkali metals and some alkaline earth metals will only displace hydrogen from water. We will see the reactions later. So from water, more active metals like alkali metals and alkaline earth metals only will displace hydrogen. In case of less active metals such as magnesium and iron, react with steam to produce dihydrogen gas. So in that we take steam. In water they are not able to substitute hydrogen, but only when it is steam taken, then the less active metals even like magnesium and iron can replace the hydrogen from water, giving out dihydrogen gas. So we will see reactions. Sodium plus H2O liquid or water, we get NaOH. Sodium is a very good reductant as we told. So this sodium will substitute the hydrogen from H2O and the hydrogen is sent out as H20. So sodium from 0 it is converted to plus 1. So increase in oxidation state, which means it is occurring oxidation there. In hydrogen if you see, plus 1 state to 0 it is changing. So it is decrease in oxidation state. So we can tell it is reduction. So hydrogen is getting reduced and sodium is getting oxidized, and by substituting this position. So we can tell it's a non-metal displacement because a metal sodium is displacing the position of a non-metal here. So the non-metal hydrogen is displaced or substituted by the metal. That's why we tell a non-metal displacement reaction and also a redox reaction too. Another example, calcium plus H2O gives CaOH twice and H2. In this case also the same reaction happens. Calcium, sodium as it was alkali metal, it was changing from 0 to plus 1. In this case calcium is changing from 0 to plus 2 and H2, H is changing from 1 to 0. So hydrogen is undergoing reduction, calcium is undergoing oxidation by increase in its oxidation number. In this reaction we can represent water like this, HOH, and in that case calcium and sodium is reacting with the OH part and liberating the H as H2 gas, giving out 0 oxidation state. So that is what actually happening there. Another example, magnesium plus 2H2O gives MgOH twice and H2. Same reaction, no change. So Mg from 0 oxidation state to Mg2 plus. So we can understand MgCaNa and all those things like alkali and alkaline earth metals are stronger than that of H2. So that's why it is substituting the position of hydrogen. Here also we get a redox reaction, the same reaction, Mg from 0 to plus 2. So we can tell increase in oxidation number is an oxidation, and H2 from plus 1 to 0. So we can tell it is reduction. So magnesium is undergoing oxidation, H2 is getting reduced in a 0 form. So we have seen the displacement reactions from water, and now we are going to see the displacement reactions from acids. So from acid, how non-metal displacement occur. So from acid, we are considering HCl here. So from HCl, how the metals are substituting hydrogen. It is actually the same reaction happening there. So zinc is substituting the position of hydrogen in HCl and forming ZnCl2. And pure H2 with the oxidation state 0 is liberated. This reaction actually we have studied during the chapter hydrogen. The liberation of H2 gas or production of H2 gas in the laboratory was done by this method, by adding a metal to dilute HCl. So here zinc from 0 it is increasing to plus 2. So increase in oxidation number is oxidation, and hydrogen plus 1 to 0 it's decreasing oxidation state, so we can tell it is reduction. Cl minus there is no change. Another example with magnesium. So Mg 0 to plus 2 there also oxidation, and H from plus 1 to 0 reduction. The same reaction here and even here. Iron also does the same reaction. In all these cases if you see, you can see the liberation of H2, and this as we told is a usual method for preparation of dihydrogen gas in the laboratory. So now we will see another type of substitution, which is the substitution of oxygen. Oxygen substitution is not as easy as we told about hydrogen that we have told. So some elements like fluorine can substitute oxygen. And when we are substituting oxygen, the power of fluorine is to accept electrons, because we have to substitute oxygen. It is having -2 charge. So fluorine should be able to accept electrons better than that of oxygen. So being the most electronegative element in the periodic table, fluorine will be able to do that. So in this order only it goes. Fluorine will be able to substitute oxygen and even chlorine, bromine, iodine. And chlorine will be able to substitute bromine. And bromine will be able to substitute iodine. And oxygen will be substituted just by fluorine. So in this reaction if you see H2O, from H2O, fluorine is substituting the oxygen and forming HF. And there oxygen is turning from -2 to 0. It is increasing in the oxidation number -2 to 0, which means it is oxidizing. And F2 0 to -1, decrease in oxidation number, so it is reduction. Fluorine is getting reduced and oxygen is getting oxidized. And hydrogen there is no change. And we have one more type of reaction, which is halogen displacement. So one halogen will substitute another halogen in a reaction, which is known as halogen substitution or halogen displacement reaction. And as I told, the order of displacement in this method only. So fluorine will be able to substitute chlorine, bromine and iodine. Chlorine will be able to substitute bromine and iodine. Bromine will be able to substitute iodine. So like that the substituent goes. We will see that. So the halogen displacement reaction. As I told, chlorine will be able to substitute bromine and iodine, and here the bromine is there. So chlorine will be able to substitute this and form KCl. So bromine is substituted by chlorine and forming KCl. And in that, chlorine is transferred from 0 to -1 state, decrease in oxidation number. Hence, we can tell it is reduction. And bromine from -1 to 0, increase in oxidation number. So hence it is oxidation. This is oxidation and this is reduction. and there is no change for the potassium. This is another reaction, chlorine, which substitutes the iodine. The same reaction which we told in case of bromine. So iodine is also substituted in the same way, where iodine is liberated and bromine is liberated in this case. So this is actually a very important reaction in laboratory, because if we need to find out the presence of bromine and iodine, it's easily done through this method. So once we add chlorine to it, iodine and bromine gets liberated, which are having color. So there is color for iodine and bromine, and once the liberation occurs, we will be able to understand the bromine and iodine is liberated. And this test is also known as layer test. So as Br2 and I2 are colored and dissolve in CCl4, we can easily identify from the color of the solution. So when we dissolve it in CCl4, the carbon tetrachloride, we get a particular color. So with the color, we identify the presence of the elements which are evolved. So this test is known as layer test. So this is the common format of halogen displacement reaction. X minus, which means it is present as ion. So in this case it is Br minus, and Br minus is converted to Br2 with 0 oxidation number plus 2 electrons. In this case iodine is present as I minus, and I minus is converted to I2, which forms plus 2 electrons with the oxidation state of 0. This is the common reaction which is for halogen displacement reaction. And we told fluorine displaces chlorine, bromine, iodine. Bromine displaces iodine. Chlorine displaces bromine and iodine. What about fluorine? So fluorine displaces when we are not telling, because it is not possible. So the displacement of fluorine is not possible chemically, because fluorine, being the most electron negative element, it is having the maximum ability to accept electrons. So that is why there is no competition for fluorine. There is no better element to accept electrons than fluorine. So that's why there is no method, chemical method, to substitute F minus ions, or we cannot convert F minus ions to F2 by just chemical means. And if need to convert, then we have to go for electrolytical methods. So that's all about halogen displacement reaction. With this, we wind up the class, and you have some questions to do to find the oxidation states of the marked elements here. So submit this in the group. Thank you.